Hi, I wanted to review with you how to get started sewing your yo-yos to your pillow top. I have my pillow top cut here. I actually have my first 2 rows already sewn on, but we're going to sort of pretend I don't. The very first thing you want to do is to mark your centers. So we have 18.5 inches here cut. So our center is going to be 9 1/4. Draw a line in this direction at 9 1/4, and then turn and draw a line in this direction at 9 1/4 from the edge. I use a Choco liner to do that. It's nice and bright when you put it on, and it does kind of just rub off, so you don't have to worry about it later down the road. So then I also marked lines 1 inch from every edge. So I just took my ruler, measured in 1 inch, and put a line all the way around the edge. The next thing that you're going to do is to get an assortment of your yo-yos, line them up, both 7 of them vertically along the line that you've made, and then 6 more, 3 on each side, to do them on the horizontal center. What you'll want to do is to keep them within the yellow markings that you made the 1 inch in. Pin them in 2 places. As I said, mine are already sewn on, but pin each one with straight pins at 2 places on each yo-yo. I'm going to set mine up to show you now how to sew them on. I'm going to add my next row. So now I have my next row pinned on. I just made it parallel to my center row. I just sort of randomly pick out the yo-yos, just trying to balance the colors as I go. I then put the next 6 down. This one was already here, so then I put the 6 down and pinned them at the top of the bottom. In the very beginning, I tried just pinning it once just to be lazy, but I found that they twist out of place that way. So you do want to secure them. It'll be easier for you to sew them on. What we'll be doing is doing an X at the edge and in between each yo-yo. And we'll also be coming up through the center of each yo-yo and going back down again, up and down. All of the stitching goes through everything, so that these X's, when I sew these 2 together, are actually sewing the 2 yo-yos together, and at the same time I'm sewing them to the background fabric, so it's going up and down through everything. I cut about a 1 yard piece of pearl cotton. This time I have pink pearl cotton, and it's kind of fun picking out the color that you like to use. I'm using this little beetle threader. When I did my first one, I didn't know about this beetle threader. It is actually big enough with this eye to pull the pearl cotton back through. It also has a light in it when you have it pushed all the way up. So I put the wire through the eye of the needle. This is a large needle. It's in the largest one in the assorted pack if you bought that. You need a large eye needle with a sharp point, and that's why I had you get that one. To pull this back through the eye, I like to hold on to the wire. I don't want to pull the wire against the beetle because I don't want the wire to pull out of the mechanism. So I just pull that through and pull it through until I have a single thread. We are going to use just a single thread for this, and so I'm just going to knot it. I do a little quilter's knot here on the end and pull that all the way through. So I've got a nice knot on the end there. I'm going to pull in a little bit closer, I hope, so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to come up from the back of the background. Notice that all my yo-yos are inside my 1 inch marking there. We need to have room to sew when we get to sew again. And I'm going to come up next to the edge of the yo-yo. I'm going to cross over a bit, go back down through the yo-yo. Then I'm going to come back up in just the background again. and back into the first yo-yo. So I've made a little X. Now these are not perfect. They're not meant to be perfect. I like the hand look of it. You certainly, to do this, you don't necessarily have to have something that's going to show. You could do this with a blind stitch, but I kind of like the little bit of more of a natural looking thing. Then I'm going to come up in the center of the yo-yo. It's really just through the backing fabric and the very back layer of the yo-yo. I just come up and back down. That's just to hold it into place, just so it's not flapping all over. Next, I'm going to come up in the edge of the yo-yo I've been working on. Just off center, not right in the center of it, but through the edge. It didn't really come up as far as I'd like to in that. It's about 1/16 of an inch from the edge that you should be coming up. This time I'm going down into the edge of the second yo-yo. I'm going to come back up through the edge of the first one. And then back down into the second one again. I'm not that happy with this X. I didn't get the first stitch exactly where I wanted it, so we're going to do one more. Oh, that's all right. And up through the center of the next yo-yo. I'm doing this on the table so you can see. You might find that it's actually easier to do it in your lap, and you can scrunch the fabric up so you can get a good hold on it. And we'll do one more stitch. I'm going to come up in the number 2 yo-yo, sort of a 1/16 of an inch from the edge maybe. I'm going to cross over and go down into the next yo-yo. Then come up and what is the second yo-yo that I'm putting on down, and then back down into the third. So you're just going to go that all the way across. When you get to the end, the 1 yard of thread that we put in here should just take you to the end comfortably. You can knot it off in the back and cut it, and then start again with another 1 yard piece. You can, I found that it's easiest just doing it row by row. At some point you'll want to lay everything out just to make sure that you've got the right colors to color balance it as you go. I can show you the back here. So this is what it's looking like as I go across. There are big pieces in between each of them. Here's where I've come up and down, and here's where I've made the little X's.